You know, when a true legend of cinema, someone like Amitabh Bachchan, says this about an actor, you just know you're talking about someone on a whole other level. So let's find out who she was.
Today, we are diving into the incredible story of Savitri, an absolute icon of South Indian cinema. Her talent was so immense, she earned the title the Supreme Artiste. We're going to journey through her amazing career, see her unbelievable skill, and really understand the legacy she left behind.
So, where did this all begin? Well, for Savitri, the passion for performing started super early. I mean, from the age of 8, she was all about dance, and that quickly led her to the world of theater. And this wasn't just some casual hobby, okay? She was so driven that she actually started her own theater organization. A pretty bold move, and one that would eventually open the doors to the silver screen.
But her path to stardom, it wasn't a straight shot. Get this, at just 12 years old, she gets her big break, a role in a film, and then it's taken away. Why? Because they thought she looked too young. Can you imagine? A setback like that could have discouraged anyone, but for Savitri, this was really just the beginning of her fight.
And this is where her story gets really interesting. After facing that kind of rejection so early on, how did she not just bounce back, but go on to build such a legendary career? Well, let's take a look.
This timeline really shows you the struggle, right? After being dropped from Agni Pariksha, she lands a small but memorable song sequence. Okay, a foot in the door. But then another huge hurdle in the film Samsaram. She's cast as the heroine, but her nerves on set got the best of her, and she was actually demoted to a smaller role. Ouch. But then came 1953. The film was Devadasu. And this was the comeback that changed everything.
Playing Parvati, Savitri just came alive on screen. Her performance, and especially those expressive, large, round blackberry eyes, completely mesmerized audiences. You know, she didn't just play the part, she became Parvati, showing all the character's deep love and complicated life with a maturity that was just unbelievable for her age. This was the role that cemented her place in the hearts of film lovers forever.
And yeah, we have to talk about her eyes. They really deserve their own section, because they weren't just a facial feature, they were her superpower. Savitri could tell you an entire story, a whole universe of feeling, without saying a single word.
Just think about this incredible range for a second. In a single glance, she could give you this mischievous look that just pulled you right in, or maybe some fake anger that was playful and teasing. And then, in a flash, she could switch to a look of real anger that felt like it could pierce your soul. She could show you the burning passion of a waiting lover, the crushing pain of a broken heart, or the quiet confidence to face absolutely anything. A whole story, right there in our eyes.
And you know, it wasn't just audiences who were blown away. This quote is from Meena Kumari, who was herself one of the greatest actresses in Hindi cinema. I mean, think about that. When an artist of that caliber admits to doubting her own skills after watching you, you know you're witnessing true, undeniable genius. Wow.
But here's the thing. Don't go thinking she was only this amazing dramatic actress. No. Savitri was a true chameleon. She could move between genres, from laugh-out-loud comedy to heart-wrenching tragedy, so seamlessly. Her range was just ridiculous.
And this performance is the perfect example. In the classic film Maya Bazaar, she played Sasireka. Okay, so first, she's the traditional graceful heroine. But then, she has to play Ghattotkacha, a male demon who is in disguise as Sasireka. So she completely changes her body language, adopts this masculine walk, and teases her suitor with all this bravado. And she would switch between these two totally different personas in the blink of an eye. It's a performance that, honestly, nobody's ever really matched. Her dedication to her roles was just total. This wasn't just acting for her, she was living and breathing these characters. In the film Shivaraku Magilati, she played a nurse having a nervous breakdown. The scene was so intense, and she got so lost in the character's pain that even after the director yelled cut, she couldn't stop crying. She was just inconsolable. The entire crew had to rush over to comfort her. That's not just acting, that's becoming someone else.
So you take all that talent, all that raw dedication, that unbelievable versatility, and what do you get? You get a legend. This is how she became the Mahanati, the Supreme Artiste.
Let's just pause on this number for a second. 300. Over a career that spanned 3 decades, Savitri acted in nearly 300 films. The sheer volume of her work is just staggering, and it really speaks to her passion and just how central she was to the entire industry.
So what does Mahanati actually mean? Well, it translates to the Supreme Artiste. And this wasn't just some catchy nickname, you know? This was a title that the public and her peers gave her, as a way of saying she was in a class all by herself. It perfectly captures the peak of artistry that she represented.
Of course, her legacy is filled with awards, like the really prestigious Presidential Award for her incredible role in Shivaraku Magilidi. But beyond all the honors, she was admired for who she was. She was famous for her incredible generosity. At one point, she donated all the jewelry she was wearing to the Prime Minister's fund. A supreme artiste with a supreme heart to match.
This powerful tribute from director Dasari Narayana Rao, it really says it all, doesn't it? While many artists fade over time, Savitri's performances are literally woven into the fabric of cinema itself. As long as people are watching movies, her legacy is safe.
You know, Savitri's story shows us that real immortality in art comes from that rare mix of raw talent, relentless hard work, and the ability to connect with us on a deeply human level. It kind of leaves you with this final thought: what really makes an artist's legacy last forever? For Savitri, maybe it was the piece of her soul she breathed into every single frame.